we're just going to look at a couple of definite integrals here to remind you of how we do these, or teach you how to do these, but also including in F here, because we're also going to remind you of a couple of ln rules. Okay, so just have a look at the two, and there's more that you can do in your textbook. Okay, so with definite integrals here, only one different step, I guess, as we go along. So, but we'll get to that in a minute. The first thing we're going to do is look at what we're trying to integrate, and just like we did before, we can see it's a function times a function. I would prefer not to expand, because we can see that if we look at what's inside the bracket, u equals x squared minus 1, its derivative is the function that's being multiplied by. So that's going to help us to say, all right, if we rewrite this, do I need to rewrite? I don't. So this bit here, this is going to be u cubed, okay, and then the 2x is my du by dx, and so I'm integrating with respect to u. So here comes the bit that is new, I guess, the bit that you have to look into and change. So because I'm now doing it with respect to u, I need to make sure that my, what's going on there? I need to make sure that my x values are now in terms of u. Okay, so we're going to have a look at this when x equals 2. Right, what's our u value going to be? So we're going to replace it up here. So that becomes 2 squared minus 1, which is 3. And when x is 1, u will become 1 squared, which is 1, take 1, and that becomes 0. So I'm now going to be integrating between 3 and 0. So we go on our usual way. Okay, and we're going to integrate our u function, so that becomes u to the 4 over 4. We're going to do that between 3 and 0. Now here comes the cracker, is that I will not, okay, don't replace your function with u. Don't replace u with x squared, take 1, because we have already changed these values. Then what we can do is just substitute those in. So this becomes 3 to the 4 over 4 minus 0 to the 4 over 4, which is 0. So we end up with 81 over 4. Okay, and we don't have to then go and substitute back into, the x function. So let's just make sure, two things that we have to be aware of. One, make sure that your new x values here are changed, and then don't substitute back your u function. Just carry on, because you have already replaced your x values. Okay, let's try the next one. So when we look at this, again, concentrate on the function itself. Don't worry about the definite integral at the moment, and like we used to do right at the beginning when we were doing these ones, separate to see your two functions. Okay, and we can see pretty clearly here that if we let u be 2 minus x squared, then du by dx is going to be minus 2x. Now we've almost got that in our expression here. Oops, needed to put the dx there. So like we did before, I want it to be minus 2, so I'm going to put a minus 2 in there, but I would have to also have minus a half out the front. Okay, so now when we rock and roll with this, we've got 1 over u. This bit here, minus 2x, is my du by dx. Okay, so du by dx, and then we've got the dx, so they sort of cancel out. So I am just integrating with respect to u. However, remember, because I've now got the u here, we need to change our values here. Okay, so we're going to have a look when x is 3, we're going to substitute it into here. So we end up with u will be 2 minus 3 squared, so 9. So that gives me minus 7. And when x equals 2, we get u equals 2 minus 2 squared is 4. So minus 2. Let's just replace those over here. So it's minus 7, it's minus 2, and let's not forget that we've got the minus a half out the front there. And let's integrate as per usual. So we go minus a half. Okay, the integral of 1 on u is ln u. And this is a great example of where it's really important that you keep, pardon me, you keep your modulus sign in there. Okay, now I'm going to go across again. So sorry, equals signs on the two equal signs on the same line, but you'll cope. Minus a half, bracket, this becomes ln, now modulus of minus 7. So modulus of minus 7 is just 7. So it's 7 minus ln, modulus of minus 2 is 2. Using our little, our logarithm laws, okay, ln a minus ln b, we can simplify this to be ln a over b, so we end up with ln of 7 over 2. However, you will find very often that several questions will ask you to write it in the form a ln b, where a is greater than 0. So if we wanted to do this, we would use our log rules again. We'd have this is ln a half ln, but 7 over 2 to the minus 1. Okay, because that's now using our rule of a ln b, I've just made this one up, is ln b to the a. Okay, so now this becomes, when we've got a fraction to a negative power, we just flip it. Okay, you could have looked at it right here and gone, well, hang on, I don't like this minus, so I'm going to say this is positive a half, and this becomes minus ln 7. Negative and a negative means a plus, and so that will also give you the same answer, because you'll now have ln 2, take ln 7, which is ln 2 on 7. This question didn't say that you had to have a positive there, so if you had it just as this, oops, then you can still go, yep, I'm correct, that is fine. But if you look at answers and you see that they've got this, don't mark yourself wrong, it's the same thing. Okay, so try those the best that you can. There'll be some trig ones. Again, just let me know if you struggle and I can do a video for those. But I hope you'll be able to manage.